Hello everyone, welcome to our show. Although there is no beer garden at Shatin, we can still have a beer at least. Hey Joe, you had your best bet Aloy King winning last Wednesday. Are you confident this week?
Yeah, there is a form line with a horse that I'll get into later. But yeah, I at 6 to 1, I thought he was going to run a good race, and he did. So really, really happy that he got the win for everybody, and hopefully you were on him.
Yeah, I know that Steve also did Aloy King in his article last week. But do you think that the all-weather night at Shatin is more tricky?
Yes, it does look that way, doesn't it? Yes, I mean even the first race looks quite tricky as well. But to Hong Kong bet, not sure if I'd be having a bet on Hong Kong bet at that short price. But yes, eight races, and as usual, we'll be so much wiser after the end of the day, of course.
And this time there is a quite important information because Joe will be suspended on this Wednesday. But last Sunday, we see that Joe Moreira scored a hat-trick. One of the winners for Joe last meeting was Master 8. This horse remains unbeaten from his 3 starts. Joe, what do you think about Master 8? Do you like this sprinter?
Yeah, I mean he performed really well, so I'm looking forward to. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate that Moreira is now suspended, but I'm sure that when he comes back, he'll have some unfinished business, and hopefully he remains on him. But yeah, I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, definitely. How about you, Steve? Any horses that impressed you last Sunday?
Well, I think Master 8 was the most impressive. I mean, it's interesting. He obviously started off his compulsory mark of 52, and he's very quickly gone up to 65 and now 74. And when he came into the straight, Joe just gave him the office, gave him a few smacks, and he was off. Quickly made a daylight between him and his nearest pursuers. And then it was only the pack were closing down at the end, but that's when Joe had once again taken his foot off the gas. So I thought he was a very impressive winner. Also impressive, I guess, was the first race, Super Fortune, which won at very short odds. But I'm not quite sure exactly what he beat. It might not have been the strongest field. But, he came across from his high draw, bagged the outside rail and won very well. And any horse that wins without Matthew Poon picking up his stick must be very good. So, yes, very impressive.
Yes, that's nice. It is always happy to see there are some rising stars having good results. So let's go to Wednesday. Hong Kong Racing will be back at Sha Tin again because there is the turf track renovation at Happy Valley. So this time all the 8 races will be held over Sha Tin all-weather track. I like to call it as Festival of Dirt, and I quite like the atmosphere to have racing at Sha Tin during night time. So maybe we talk about the Triple Trio. The first leg will be race 4. It is a class 4 race over 1,200 meters. Joe, which horse do you like here?
I'm on the camp of Steel Win just because he's had good form on the dirt track last win out, then took a spell for about 10 weeks. And normally when you see these consistent, he's going up in weight, he's going up another 3 kilos. So I believe that if he gets another run like how he did the last 2 races where he barely won, even with the 3 kilos, when he got stepped up another 3 kilos, he was still okay. So I would lean on the camp of Steel Win, he's drawn a bad barrier, but he's won on a bad barrier. So I believe that he is one of the sort of better bets on the card for me.
Number 4, Steel Win, he will be ridden by Derek Leung, and this horse is trained by Michael Chang. I think that he is quite an honest horse, still racing in class 4 is quite good for him. How about you, Steve? Which horse do you like here?
I went for number 8, Everyone's Victory, from gate 3, a good draw. He's nothing from 7, but goes well on dirt, and he was beaten a short head by Steel Win at the end of last season, his last race of the season. He was just beaten a short head, and he's now £8 better off with Steel Win. Steel Win's bidding for a hat-trick of wins, but his talisman, Moreira, who's been on the last twice, is of course not at the meeting, misses it through suspension. So I think Everyone's Victory is interesting. Others to consider probably include Aquila, who I think might improve for the switch to Tony Millard, a very good trainer. Aquila has some good form from his time with Jimmy Ting, but the form seemed to taper off last year. And Young Victory possibly also has a chance at the off-bottom weight for Alexis Bedell. Alexis Bedell was actually on board my selection last time, Everyone's Victory, but he jumped ship. But yes, I think for me, Everyone's Victory. I think he's due a win. He was very slowly away last time and lost his chance at the start. He had a wide draw. In fact, his last 4 draws have been 11-12, 11-10. He's now in 3, so hopefully a better run.
Yeah, definitely. Number 7, Everyone's Victory. He always jumped from a wide gate before, but this time finally gate number 3 is really good for him. And for me, I think that race 4 is quite an open field. I will have my best bet here. That number 11, Almighty Pegasus. Currently, his price is 62-1, so that will be my value bet. Almighty Pegasus is a lightly raced 4-year-old. To be honest, he really did not have any good results last season, but he did show some good speed last time out at Happy Valley. This horse went to Chongfa to enjoy his summer break, and now he is more mature. He puts the blinkers on the recent barrier trials, and I think that this gears is helpful for him. And his pedigree also suggests that he is suitable for racing over the all-weather track, so I won't be surprised if this outsider can have a good result or even win on Wednesday. So for race 4, the first leg of the triple trio, we have Joe. He likes number 4, Still Win, and Steve's selection is number 7, Everyone's Victory. And for me, I have my best bet for number 11, Almighty Pegasus. And then in the second leg of the triple trio, that is race 5. It is also a class 4 race, but the distance is longer, and that is 1,800 meters. Steve, what is your selection here?
I went for number 12, London Lucky Star. He was my selection last time, and he ran an excellent race. He was running from the 11 barrier, and he was wide throughout, but he stayed on very well to finish second to the Mint. And I think the extra 200 meters will be in his favour. The question is, as always in these races, can they repeat the effort? He's a maiden. Well, he's actually won a race, but he's yet to win on these shores. But Karastinen keeps the ride. He's only up £1, and I think a repeat of that performance would be certainly enough to put him bang there. He's slightly better drawn this time in 8. So London Lucky Star has only gone up £1 to 40, which is still a very competitive rating. So for me, yes, London Lucky Star.
Yes, number 12, London Lucky Star, he will be ridden by Karastinen. Actually, in his handicapping mark of 40, trainer Peter Ho can choose a class 5 race, but maybe in class 3, he will be just carrying a light weight of 113 pounds. That would be really good for him. And Joe, do you have your best bet in this race?
Yeah, my best bet is Super Fast with Zach Purton, just because he's drawn nothing. He's drawn a barrier where he doesn't have to work for. He's drawn number 1. He did have a really good second and hung on for second in his last stint at Sha Tin. I think this horse gets going when he's had a couple of runs. So this is his 3rd up. He did improve. He actually trialed with Golden 60. I really like his chances here. I'm really confident that he could probably pull it, or he could pull it off in this race, just because the Purton factor, you have everything else. He has everything going for him. He likes the dirt, so I'm going to go with Super Fast, which is drawn number 1, number 2, Super Fast.
Number 2, Super Fast. Before coming to Hong Kong, he is a winner over 10 furlong in Ireland. So I won't be, I think that up in distance this time won't be any problem for him. And my selection will be number 3, Party Every Day, ridden by Matthew Chadwick. This horse is a 3-time winner over this course and distance, and this is a very honest horse. Last time out, he showed a good turn of foot to finish 4th, and that was a class 3 race, so that was really impressive to me. And actually, I'm a bit worried about the wide gate this time, but now racing in class 4, I think that Party Every Day is strong enough to overcome the wide draw. So the down in class is the main advantage for him here. To sum up, in race 5, the second leg of the triple trio, our selection includes Joe's selection, and his best bet is number 2, Super Fast. Steve likes number 12, London Lucky Star, and my pick is number 3, Party Every Day here. And let's talk about the third leg of the triple trio. That is race 6, also a class 4 race over 6 furlong. Steve, do you have any value bet here?
Yes, I went for a value bet, Poised to Strike. Now, he's taking a chance here. He's a winner in Australia, yet to win here. And he's nothing from 14 in Hong Kong. He hasn't shown anything in the 2 dirt runs last season. But he's really down to a mark now where he could really exploit it. He's off a mark of 49. And he showed glimmers of ability, I thought, last season on turf. He had a recent trial under today's pilot, Chad Schofield, when making all to score. Now, trials you have to take with a pinch of salt sometimes, but he looked good. He seemed to act on the track well, and he also won a Chongqing trial as well on turf before that. Chad Schofield was on the horse on the all weather, so hopefully. He's asked off a mark of 49, which he should really be able to exploit. He's drawn 8, and I think he's got enough pace to actually get very prominent. I think 8 trigrams is interesting. He's closely matched with Blotting Paper. They were 3rd and 4th over course and distance last month. And Sunny Delight could well win. I think he's an obvious horse. He could well do what Stormtrooper did for Zach Burton and basically go 3rd, 2nd, 1st. But it's fun to have a horse at a price. You get lots of kudos if it wins a big price. So hoping that Poised Strike can do that for a surprise in race 6.
Number 9, Poison Strike is now the price is 15-2. I think I also like this horse because just like Steve just said, I like his recent barrier trial performance. He jumped really well and finished well. And how about you, Joe? I know that you also have your value bets here. Which horse do you like?
Yeah, I went the way of a lighter weight Jade Theater with Derek Long up, just because from a class perspective and just from a class perspective, he's been up there. He's an 8-year-old gelding, but his highest peak was class 2. So he's been down and down and down, but I think he has a resurgence coming back if you look past his recent form. So he's had a lot of brilliant wins even before then, lightly raced. I really like that he is coming back up to form, coming back from class 5 now to class 4 on a lower weight. So I believe that from a class perspective, and I think other than looking at his past form line, he could be a sneaker in this race. I think it was that Hong Kong odds was about $13. So yeah, I think he could take a good chance here with Jade Theater in this race.
Yes, number 12, Jade Theater. Now the price is 16-1. The pace is expected to be very fast in this way, so I think that it will be suitable for him to accelerate. And for my selection, I will have my best bet here. That is number 4. Border Control, this debutant, because we see that in this season, this jockey trainer partnership, Karis Teton and Tony Cruz, already had another debutant over the all-weather track having good result. That is Wizkid, and I believe Border Control can have even better results on his first up. This son of Brazenville is out of a Group 3 winning mare, Just Discreet, suggesting that he is a good sprinter. And I also like his barrier trial on 5th of October because he showed that he has good speed. And this horse is quite big in size, so I think that it will be a good sign for a debutant racing over 1,200 meters, especially on the all-weather track. So I have my best bet for number 4, Border Control. So seems that 3 of us are quite confident in race 6, so just can't wait to see our 3 horses to have a trio tomorrow. To sum up race 6, first selection is number 12, Jade Theater. Steve likes number 9, Poison to Strike, and my best bet here is number 4, Border Control. So we just mentioned our triple trio selections and our value bet. Let's go to our best bet. Steve, what is your best bet on Wednesday?
I decided to keep the dream alive for as long as possible, so I've saved it till race 8, California Concord. Now, he was a beaten favourite last time. He has the reverse form with the 4 horses in front of him. That's Elon, Northern Dragon, Gunnison and Superwind Dragon. He was also drawn in Barrier 1 that day, and he's now drawn in 10. But I don't think that's a problem. If you look back through the all-weather, the 1,200 metres, a high draw isn't really much of an inconvenience, I don't think. And we're talking about Zach Burton, who won on lucky patch from stall 12 just recently in the big race. So for me, California Concord, he's 2 from 9 on the all-weather. He has nice early pace. And yes, hopefully he can enhance his very good all-weather record in the lucky last.
Joe, so can you say once again what your best bet is in race 5?
Yeah, race 5, I went with super fast. I mean, just because the speed is supposed to be up there, he is going to be expected in the front. And I do think that the all-weather track does play a little bit like the US, where you have to be in the front or else you're going to get swooped in on. I think that if he stays in the front and Zach Purton just keeps him there, he could put them all to sleep. So I'm going to go with my best bet, super fast, who's drawn barrier 1.
Okay, and then my best bet is in race 6, class 4, 1200 meters. I like number 4, Border Control, but don't forget number 9, Poison to Strike, and number 12, Dread Theater are the value bets for Steve and Joe, respectively. So that's the end of our show. That is the end of our show. Thank you, Steve, and thank you, Joe, for your time. Enjoy your night at Sha Tin on Wednesday, and good luck. See you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.